Chris Sewall here, baseball card collector, investor, dealer, in that order. Welcome everyone. Regular rollers time. Haven't done one of these in quite a while, so looking forward to it. Going to get rolling right after I remind everyone about my boy Jeremy Donson, the Texas Snowman. He's started an auction house here. CIA stands for Collector Investor Auctions, and it's launching in just a few days here, June 13th. He has been working his tail off getting ready for it, and I've been watching firsthand as I'm a small stakeholder and very excited for him and for the auction house that it's finally here. There's some promotions around, discounts on buyer's premiums and things like that. So check it out. You can go register for free. All that information is in the description below. But otherwise, let's get rolling. We'll start with one sent in by Nate the Great, who wrote, "I had to show this one off. This is my first ever RPA, and it's a good one. Manny Machado, future Hall of Famer, booklet, auto, 3 nice patches. One's a 3-color patch, and the card is serial numbered. I got all this for $63 all in. It's Panini America's Pastime, which isn't the highest end release, but look at that sweet RPA. I am pumped to get it." Yeah, that's really cool, and I agree with everything you said. This is a great looking card. Manny Machado, future Hall of Famer, really nice patches, nice booklet auto there, serial numbered out of 75, rookie year. Yeah, very cool card, and congrats on your first RPA. Next one was sent in by Farron, who wrote, "I recently had a seller experience that left me confused about the final auction prices. I listed 2 1966 Topps lots as buy it nows with best offers, but they didn't get much attention, so I changed them to auctions. One was described as X-Mint to Near Mint with 67 cards and sold at $2.25 per card. The other lot was described as Near Mint to Near Mint Mint with 21 cards and only sold at $1.20 per card. I'm trying to step up my eBay seller game, and I feel like higher grade vintage is so tough to predict what will happen. Do you have any words of wisdom for selling raw higher grade vintage? This experience has me a bit stumped." That is interesting. Obviously, you would expect the higher grade lot to sell for more per card. But the one thing I would say is that on your second lot here, you only have a picture of a single card as the cover photo. That's probably a mistake, because a lot of people are going to look at this and assume you're just selling a single card. And even if you looked at the title afterwards, you might just quickly glance at it and see 1966 Topps Brooks Robinson and kind of assume that this is just for a single card. The main photo you use is by far the #1 most important item of your listing. Like, that's going to be the thing that most people see. A lot of people won't even read the titles. So I'm going to guess that that's sort of what happened here. A lot of people just glanced at this and assumed it was for a single card, because otherwise this is a great buy. 21 cards in super high grade for a little over $1 per card. But so yeah, that would be the one piece of advice, just looking over these quickly, that I would give. Next one was sent in by Stod, who wrote, "I picked up this 2015 hobby case of Contenders football on eBay. The seller had it listed as a draft hobby case, but corrected it as regular hobby case in the description. A hobby box of 2015 Contenders football usually goes for about $150, and I got a case of 12 of them for $760, or about $65 a box, which I thought was pretty cool. Yeah, you got a total bargain here. This is basically half price, or even less than that in terms of what it should have sold for. And it's a good lesson for sellers. Like, if you're listing an item in an auction and you make a notable mistake in the listing, in this case, the seller listed this as a draft case, when the word draft needs to be eliminated, as that a draft case is worth a lot less than just the regular Contenders. If you make a notable mistake like that, don't just correct it in the description, which you can do here, which is what the seller tried to do here. The reason is very, very few people actually read the description. They're really just looking at the title, so that's not going to get not enough people are going to see that correction. This is a situation where you have to just cancel the item, cancel the auction altogether, and start it with the reasoning that there was a mistake in the listing, which there was, and then relist it. Otherwise, you could sell things for way under value, as what happened here. This was sent in by Michael, who simply wrote, "Just in case no one else sent this in. Yeah, look at this. 2023 Topps Rainbow Foil Adley Rutschman rookie. It's severely miscut, slant cut, miscut, whatever you want to call it. Graded an SGC Pour 1. Kind of funny that somebody sent this in to SGC, getting the one. It actually sold for $332 as a Pop 1. I did a video on the 89 Upper Deck Griffey recently, where PSA 1s actually sell for more than like PSA 7s because they're very, very rare. Here's another sort of example of that. I would be very cautious with people to, don't just try to start damaging your important cards to try to get ones. I don't think this is a trend that will stick, or it hasn't historically, but I'm not really sure why this particular one went for $332, but yeah, here it did. And well, congrats to the seller, and smart move sending it into SGC and putting it for sale. This was sent in by Jake, who wrote, "I frequently search eBay for autograph cards of NHL superstars, Hall of Famers, and the GOATs. Even if I'm not interested in buying, I like to look and keep a close eye on prices and what cards are going for. I certainly wasn't in a buying mood, but doing my daily search for goodies, I came across this. It's a dual auto, on-card auto of Gordie Howe and Bobby Hull. I clicked on the picture for a better look and loved the card. I hit it on my watch list and continued to search for another 10 or so minutes before rethinking and saying to myself, that Howe Hull card was pretty cheap for having 2 Hall of Famers on it, and one of them being a top 4 player of all time. I circled back to the card and submitted an offer of 225 Canadian dollars. The offer was accepted in the next 5 minutes, and I was super happy to get it all in for $245. In several top 10 NHL all-time player lists, you'll find both of these names, with Howe being in the top 4. Both are in the top 20 all-time in goals, with Bobby Hull being in the top 10 in goals per game, and Howe having scored the 3rd most in NHL history. Both players also finished their career in 1980 playing on the same Hartford Whalers team. Gordie Howe passed away on June 10th, 2016 at the age of 88, and Bobby Hull passed away in 2023 at the age of 84. RIP to 2 of the greatest to ever lace them up. This was sent by Grant, who wrote, in April 1947, Jackie Robinson broke the color barrier in Major League Baseball. His name is known by all, and his cards command a premium. Most people do not know that the NFL had a ban on black players for 12 years, which ended in 1946, when Kenny Washington and 3 others, commonly known as the Forgotten Four, were signed to the NHL. Kenny Washington was actually college roommates with Jackie Robinson, and has a card in the 1948 Leaf and Bowman sets. The most successful of the Forgotten Four was Marion Motley, who signed with the Browns as a 238-pound fullback. Motley played a total of 9 seasons with a career average of 5.7 yards per carry, which is still an NFL record. He was elected to the Pro Football Hall of Fame in 1968. Motley passed away in 1999. His only pack-inserted autograph comes in 1997 UD Legends set, which can be had for about $40. I came across this 1975 Fleer Hall of Fame signed card authenticated by PSA DNA with a 6th grade. The seller was asking $50 but sent an offer for $35. I countered at $25 and the seller accepted. The card has a total pop of 9 signed copies, and a 6 is a pop 2 with none higher. All in for around $30 for a low pop autograph of a legend and a person of large historical significance. The PSA DNA fees currently equal about the same price. Sticking with players who broke the color barrier, this was sent by Arlen, who wrote, I do a lot of through the mail TTM autographs and recently saw that Willie O'Ree is still signing at almost 90 years old. O'Ree broke the NHL's color barrier with the Boston Bruins in 1958, and I went to eBay and found a rookie card of his from 1997, quote-unquote rookie card. It's actually about a 5x7 oversized card. I sent it to him and got it back with a beautiful signature. The card costs about $26 all in, and he charges a $20 fee, and adding postage brought the whole pickup to around $50. Not bad for a very, very cool piece of history. This was sent by JM, who wrote, I ran across this listing the other night, and after a couple hours, I talked myself into buying it. Being an Olympic year and interest in women's hoops at an all-time high, I figured this was a very solid buy. Sue Bird is one of the greatest players in women's basketball history, multiple WNBA championships, multiple NCAA championships, and 5-time Olympic gold medal winner. Her resume speaks for itself. For 2012 Topps Olympic, hobby boxes had 1 autograph, 1 athlete-used relic, and 1 manufactured relic per box. There are 4 different manufactured relics available. Each of the 100 athletes were in each of the sets versus only 50 athletes having autographed cards, well outside the case hits of other boxes. I know to collectors of bird or women's basketball, the card at this price was an absolute no-brainer, but as a flipper, I have to take a different approach. Having pretty good knowledge of the Olympic set as they've been my focus for about a decade, I knew this was not an easy card to pull, roughly 1 in 400 hobby boxes. I checked COMC, none for sale, raw or graded, same for eBay. Quick look at COMC Pop Report, and that's what made me buy it. A total of only 8 have been graded from the set of 100 athletes, with this being the only PSA 10 of those graded. I know you like setting your asking price on low population cards with low demand. I recall a recent video you made about a David Tyree. As a whole, I'd say Olympic cards are in low demand outside of a few months every 4 years during the games, but to get an all-time great for only $30 all in, even if I can't flip it right away, I can't see it going down in value. This was sent by Grant, who wrote, Gale Sayers is the youngest player to ever be voted into the NFL Hall of Fame at age 34. His rookie card is 1966 Philadelphia, which low-grade copies can be had for around $120. But in 1966, American Oil did a promotion in which people were given stamp booklets with the goal to collect all 20 stamps and then be entered to win a number of prizes, including a Ford Mustang. The stamps were given out at panels, which contained 3 stamps. Again, the idea was to tear the stamps out of the panel and put them into your stamp booklet. Gale Sayers was one of the athletes with a stamp in the set. He has cards on panel B as well as on panel F. I was able to purchase a panel B copy, which also features Sam Huff, who's also in the NFL Hall of Fame, as well as Tucker Fredrickson, who was the #1 overall draft pick in 1965 and in the NCAA Football Hall of Fame. PSA has graded only 13 of these panels, and SGC has graded only 1. none of which are graded above a 2. The seller has had the item listed for $80 and I offered $50. They then countered at $60, which I accepted. The low population of this featuring rookie year Sayers makes this seem very cheap. This was sent by Corey, who wrote, I recently won this lot of 44 2012 Mike Trout Sports Illustrated for Kids cards for about $40 all in. Another lot of 50 previously sold for around $125 all in. Individually, these cards sell for around $8 to $10 each, and while I don't know how fast they will move, this should be a pretty good flip opportunity. Yeah, this was a great buy. I'm not sure why this auction went so low, but you basically got these at $1 a card or even a little bit less than that. And even if you just get $5 a card, you're going to be doing really, really well over time. Like you said, they're not going to fly off the shelves, but yeah, if you sell one at a time and pace it out and aren't too in too much of a rush, you'll do really, really well here. This was sent by James, who are very excited to add this Steve McNair rookie to my PC at a very reasonable price. 24 karat gold action pack cards were one of the hottest inserts of the early 90s. There are no 10s of this card and only 2 PSA 9s. $64 for a rare rookie of one of the first dual threat quarterbacks for me was a no-brainer. Yeah, very cool card. I love sort of niche cards like this. And you're right. These were very, very popular inserts in the early 90s. Action pack 24 karat gold. Steve McNair, very notable career, and this is one of his very rarest rookies. So yeah, cool item. This was sent by Ryan, who wrote, I recently bought a Pete Rose auto card that was certified by PSA DNA. The interesting question is whether or not this is a 1968 Topps card or if it's a reprint. If it's authentic, it seems like I got a real steal here, as the card appears to be near mint condition, but frustratingly, only the autograph was authenticated by PSA and not the card. I feel like PSA should change their service offerings to avoid this confusion. At the very least, they should be authenticating the card, and if they want to charge extra to assign the card a numerical grade at the submitter's option, that seems fine, but leaving collectors guessing as to whether this was submitted as an authentic card that was simply not authenticated because the submitter chose not to pay for the service, or this is a reprint seems sloppy on the part of PSA, and this ambiguity can be misleading to collectors, achieving the exact opposite of what a grading service like PSA should be aiming to accomplish. Yeah, I mean, I completely agree. This is a great example of the confusion there. So what PSA has done here is they're saying the autograph is authentic, and they are not saying anything about the card. So this could be they're not saying it's fake either. This could be a fake. It could be an original 1968 Topps card, and it doesn't tell you here. And it's true, the submitter could have just chosen that, so it's not like PSA chose that, the submitter chose that, but as a buyer, you don't know if the card is good or not, and yeah, that makes a huge difference in the value. If this is an original 1968 Topps in this sort of near mint plus condition, yeah, that's a great buy. If it's just a reprint, then $120 or whatever is probably too much. So I totally agree. I think PSA is actually changing that, or they may even have already. I feel like they've done something to differentiate between an original card and a fake or a reprint card with an auto. I'm not sure, but yeah, if they haven't yet, they need to get this under control, because this is, I agree with you, very, very confusing and easily misunderstood by collectors. Meanwhile, the seller is not helping either. In the title, they've put 1968 Topps retro card. What does that mean? Does that mean it's good or not? I'm not sure. So PSA is making things confusing here, and the seller is making things confusing as well. But that's it for this week's regular rollers. Hope everyone enjoyed, and remember, whether you are high or regular, keep on rolling. Thanks, everyone.